Welcome back to another episode of Real Talk and ELT. Getting students to actually do homework. Let's talk about it. Fun. So I deal with, hi, welcome. My name's Kelly. I deal with adult learners. I feel like um, the meetings, the addiction meetings, like the adult learners are my addiction, and them not doing homework is my arch nemesis and constant battle that I have to deal with all the time that nobody wants to do homework. Anyways, so I think wait, I moved. Oh, see, I moved it. Let's see. Just total failure. Okay, there it's back. So we'll see if that is kept in the episode or not. Anyways, I won't touch the mic anymore, I promise. So there is this idea that homework homework is necessary for learning. I agree and disagree. I think students need to be engaged in some sort of activities outside of class, but I don't necessarily think that means it has to be traditional homework type of stuff. And how you can get them to actually do the homework is to find things that work for them. I know it's kind of like stating the obvious here, but stick with me. So, the rationale behind homework is that we see it as this tool for independent practice, consolidation of knowledge, that type of thing. You can even use some of the science of learning techniques, like the neuroscience stuff that people use, where they're doing working with the long-term short-term memory, and there's a bunch of like different tricks and stuff like that. I did a whole series of science of learning that has some ideas. Anyways, the thing is, students definitely need to do something, but it doesn't need to be traditional. And I think the way that we can kind of get them on team homework is to get them to understand why they need to do it and for them to see some sort of result from doing it. This is the key, because if you don't check their homework, if you don't give them feedback, or if they don't see any progress, then why are they going to do it? This is why I'm a huge proponent of portfolios. Portfolios, I know, are exhausting and they take more time, and you got to sit there and you got to dedicate a little bit of love to kind of keeping these things going. But what I've noticed is that helps students more because they see the progress over time. And you can include activities and ideas and different types of solutions that are really engaging for them. And you can have like tracking things, you can do all sorts of skill building, all the skill building type of stuff. You can include some traditional stuff, some very new, crazy type of things, including technology in it. There's a whole bunch of things that you can do. I'm a huge proponent of, like, I think portfolio work is the best work to do because students will stop integrating things into their routines if they don't see some sort of result. So my whole deal with homework is that when people don't do their homework, there's some reasons. Well, first, I deal with adults. Kids, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with kids. That's just not me. Let me turn this off so it doesn't bother us. I don't deal with kids. Teenagers, I'm cool with. Kids, I'm not. They like me because I'm crazy. It sucks a lot of my energy. Teenagers, angry at the world, love them. That's fun. And adults, I can totally relate to adults. Adults and kids, teenagers too. They have busy lives. Teenagers, so depending. But adults have busy lives. They usually have their own stuff going. They're working, they're paying bills, they've got family and friends and personal obligation. They got stuff to do. You know what I mean? Like, you just got things that you're doing. And so you can't dedicate a lot of time. But I get that. They're just busy. But sometimes we need to look at homework low completion rates, not because, oh, well, they're busy and no, like everybody's busy. I don't know. Like, I feel like every adult is busy. Every adult wakes up in the morning and just like, ugh, okay, here we go for today. You know, like goes to the gym, goes to work, does this, picks up the house, grocery shop. Like, you gotta take care of yourself. Unless you're privileged enough to have somebody do that for you, like most people are kind of in the grind. So we see it as like, oh, there's a lack of motivation. Teachers a lot of times say, oh, they're not really motivated. They don't do homework at home. Well, no, they just got stuff to do. But maybe you can find something that takes like 10 or 15 minutes a day that they're willing to do because it's super fun and engaging for them. So it's not necessarily that they're not motivated, but maybe they don't see the motivation is lacking because they don't see the result. They don't see the progress that they're making. So maybe we need to rethink the things that we're assigning to them. They sometimes see it as irrelevant, especially adults. They're gonna be like, I'm not gonna do the grammar exercises. Yeah, well, guess what? You can't construct a sentence, so you need to do it. That's a conversation I've had and a comment that I've made multiple times. It's like, yeah, I don't like doing grammar. I'm not interested in doing grammar. I just want to have conversation classes. I'm like, okay, cool. So then let's start speaking in English, and we start speaking English. I'm like, yeah, you can't form a sentence, so you need to do grammar. As blunt as that. And they're like, oh, okay. Do I understand what you're trying to say? Sure. Is it coming out in any way, shape, or form that's going to be accurate? And if you go and speak with somebody who's not a teacher, are they going to be able to decipher it? Probably not. So you're going to have to do it. There's the relevance for you. You can't construct things. Have the direct conversation with them. If you're not honest with your students, like, what are you doing? I mean, you don't have to be as blunt as me. They're used to it. My students are used to it with me. And most people that get recommended to come and study with me, they're like, listen, Kelly's a bit much. Yeah. And she's very direct, and she's just going to tell you how it is. I'm not the cute teacher. I'm not. That's just not me. I'm very direct, but am I going to get you results? Yep. I do my part. You do your part. So if they don't see the relevance, but they also don't see the relevance if you're assigning them things that have nothing to do with their lives. So if the content, for example, you assign them an activity to do or a podcast to listen to or an audio or a video or a little news article, it has nothing to do with nothing with them, but you think it's super interesting, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If it's not relevant to their day-to-day or for their goals, students are not going to engage in it. So you got to find stuff that students engage with. Guess what? We got AI now. Gosh. I use AI for, like, I have an AI assistant. Yeah. I have an AI assistant. You want to know why? Because one, it saves so much time, and I don't have to pay the AI. That's helpful. I don't need to pay for a secretary service. I'm not cheap. I'm just economical, And so, yeah, like, you have AI, you can be like, listen, I got this activity, but this is not going to work for this person. Here's a profile of this person. Can you give me a suggestion of another activity or modifying this activity so that it would work for that person? Cool. Make it relevant. External distractions. Adults have a lot of external distractions all the time. They've got kids and families and all that type of stuff. Pets. Personal goals. It's still the beginning of the year. I think people are still maybe trying to do the new year, new me thing. I don't know. I don't know. I think people maybe have given up on that whole New Year's resolution thing. I didn't see a lot of it on social media. Thank God. It's kind of nauseating. New Year, same me. It's just, I'm always going to be this way. Anyways, external distractions. So I'm like the poster child of distractions, but I'm talking about distractions of when people they can't prioritize. Nowadays, we live in a society that we're just constantly bombarded with everything: information, distractions, entertainment, endless scrolling. Do you know what I mean? The competition of seeing other people do cool stuff on their social media, and it's like, oh, I don't have time, I gotta do that. And people can't prioritize for shit anymore. It's bad. It's bad. People cannot prioritize themselves. So then what does that turn into? It turns into all of these external distractions because they can't turn it off. They're not able to how many times a day do you think people just like pick up their phone to check to see if they hear a noise? It's like, oh, I gotta check the message and see who cares, in my opinion, I don't really care. But they're unable to prioritize, which means everything comes before English unless English is the distraction. So maybe to help your students get onto these types of routines and get onto some sort of better path of consistent homework outside of classes, maybe you need to make it a distraction. Make English the distraction. How many times do you send reels from Instagram or the little TikTok videos to your students? I send them. And I only send things that are in English. I'm not sending them anything in their language. No way. I'm sending them all stuff in English. Always. I'm always sending them little distracting things. Some people I know that they're able to prioritize, and I don't want to interrupt their personal time. So you got to kind of use this, but I turn English into the distraction. Instead of trying to say, no, you can't do these things, you need to stop all of the stuff that people think is entertainment, that people think is a priority for them. Make English the priority, but you try to help make English the priority. Send them funny things in English. Send them jokes. If they don't get it, more motivation for them to try and figure it out, right? So just try and look at homework as something a little bit different. Look at it as more as, where can I develop some sort of system or scheme that makes it not traditional homework and makes it more of this interesting, motivational, relevant distraction. That would be my recommendation. If you do it as like a portfolio or something like that, like for example, I'm a Google girl. I use Google Classroom with my students. I find it to be easier. They also can download the app on their phone and they're able to click on it and they get notifications. So whenever I post anything, then they get a notification and you can just send stuff in there. Send links and things like that. You can use whatever app you want. If you use Telegram, if you use WhatsApp, if you have your own site, and then you can, send notification if you want to use email. I don't know, figure it out. But do something where they start to see like something akin to a portfolio, where they start to see progress of all of the things that they're, one, completing, and two, engaging with, and then they start to do it consistently and they start to see the progress. Because if they can go back, hang on, my dog is going to freak out. Hey, let's not do that. Thank you. If they can go back and say, oh, I started here and now I'm here, or I started here and I didn't get it and now I can interact and understand what's going on. That's motivating for them. So we got to get them motivated. We got to make sure that it's relevant, and then also turn English into the distraction. I think that is where we need to start going in terms of homework. Making English the priority, not because it's a forced priority, but because it's that fun entertainment stuff that they're engaging with and maybe answering questions or sending comments back and forth with you. That type of stuff, I think, is more the direction that adults need to go. So my proposal: strategies that increase homework engagement. Don't call it homework. Call it something else. I don't care what you call it. Assign meaningful and personalized tasks that they actually like. Use AI. We've got a bunch of tools. You might as well use them. AI isn't teaching you how to think. It's forcing you to be critical. I'm going to do a whole nother podcast on this because I think people are looking at AI as this thing. It's like, it's a tool and you need to learn how to harness the tool. We'll talk about it later. Incorporate students' interests, please. Please, please. Provide clear instructions. What do you want them to do with this? If I send them a reel, I sent one to one of my students and I was like, oh, look at this. I thought of you and your team. And he responded back, he was like, you know what? And then he had an opinion on it because it was this joke about like, anyways, it was a whole, it's very specific to his industry, but it was something relevant to what we were talking about. Like we were gossiping a little bit and then it popped up because our phones are listening. I don't know if you know, you talk to your students, you got your phone around, you're going to get all sorts of little things popping up on your social media related to your students' industries. Yeah. Okay. And then offer feedback. So offer some feedback that reinforces the value of these assignments. Like, oh, that's really funny. Oh, I'm so glad you got that joke. Oh, you know that they were talking about this and it's related to X, Y, and Z. Oh, here's a homework PDF type of thing. That is exactly what they were talking about in this reel. Then they see the relevance. Very motivating. Very demure. Anyways, that's it for today. Oof, that was a quick one. Look at under 20 minutes. See? Getting students to actually do homework, it doesn't have to be this battle. It's just thinking creatively. What do they like? What will be fun? And where are they going to see the progress? With like, how can we motivate them? But make English a distraction. Like, we can't compete with social media. So use social media. There's no way that you're going to make any teacher, I guarantee, there is no teacher in the world that's going to make anything studying related that is going to compete with the social media apps. So use them to your benefit. You can't compete with it. They're already going to be doom scrolling for hours on their phones. You might as well use it to your advantage. That's all I got to say. Hope you got some ideas. The dog's going to bark. There's motorcycles going, so might as well sign off now. That's it for today. Talk to you later.